anxiety machine. Why would anyone buy that? I don't know why you'd want that.
I think
MSCI is selling one.
Yeah, they're selling them now. Yeah.
I don't know why. It's a Business Pants Friday show here at September 12th Studios featuring analyst hole Matt Moscardi.
Oh, yeah.
On today's weekly wrap-up, Nepo babies dominating media ownership. That sounds fun.
Yeah, that's what I love.
A male CEO whines about being tired while a female governor does a thing. An a-hole,
like normal.
Yeah, an a-hole speed round. And me doing everything I can to avoid talking about a massive jerk that was killed a few days ago.
Oh.
I don't want to talk about it. Our show today is being sponsored by FreeFloatAnalytics.com.
Yeah.
The only platform measuring board power connection performance for free.
Free Float Analytics. Can we just get into the whole thing?
Fine.
Go, let's do story of the week.
Thing? How do you even know what the whole thing is?
I don't even know. We got a lot of production notes here. I kind of want to.
I know I've been feeling just dreadfully anxious and depressed the last few days.
It's been bad. It's been
Yeah.
like I feel myself getting grayer by the second.
And people
in this country.
People keep telling me like, "Oh, we got to go now. We got to move." I'm like, "Where am I going? Like, where am I moving? I mean, come on. I mean, where am I going?"
Isn't
Honestly,
there an island somewhere we could go to?
I mean, I feel like Maine already is an island, but who's buying that for me? Who's doing that for me?
You have like a populist oyster man who's going to win the,
Great. Good.
I think it's great.
But probably not. You know he's going to lose. All right, come on. Let's go story of the week.
Yeah. All right.
And by the way, if you are a listener and you do have a solution for me and you do know where I'm going, tell me. I don't. Where am I going? Really, honestly, where am I going? All right, story of the week. Not the one maybe you're thinking of, because really, and maybe Matt will disagree with me later, but it's not what we do here. We don't cover like
Political
we don't cover
assassinations,
mass violence, and horrible media coverage.
I'm going to mention it later. I'm going to mention the thing later, but it's not really what we do. That's correct.
Lachlan Murdoch secures control of Fox and News Corp. I mean, really, it almost seems related. I mean, an ending succession fight. I mean, all the stories I'm actually picking do seem related to this horrible assassination bull crap. But so here it is. Here's the deal. I didn't even know this was a possibility, but Lachlan Murdoch, who is the conservative one, is being given the empire, and the way they solved this was quite easy. And again, I didn't know this was a choice. They're buying out his siblings. They're giving them cash,
not permanently, right?
Okay, until the new trust arrangement secures Lachlan's control over the companies through 2050, and he gets all the voting rights. And for those siblings that give up the voting rights, they each get $1.1 billion in cash. That's all it took. Just a nice check.
That's my favorite part about this story.
Congratulations, liberals. They were supposed to be the liberal ones. Good going, liberals.
My favorite part about this story is like sowing misinformation and hate just cost $1.1 million per sibling.
And what would have been the discount on that if you had stayed and fought? You would have gotten like $600 million or something. Like, what did you sell it out for? I really want to know. How much money do you effing need? Honestly,
I mean, when Prudence, Elizabeth, and James get their $1.1 billion, do they look at the pile of money like in their 15th bedroom and say, "Yeah, it was definitely worth selling out democracy for that pile"? The other piles were not big enough. This pile makes it better.
Just don't tell me that they could have taken, like, if I find out later that they could have still had $500 million but still fought Lachlan's control, I'm going to throw up in my mouth once again. The other part of this, I don't know if any of this is interesting.
Parts? What is this?
Rupert stays as chair emeritus. Do we care about that? As he said, the trust runs through 2050. I don't know.
What is it with 2050? Can somebody explain 2050?
I don't really know.
It's 2025 right now. Why is everything end?
I don't know.
The world ends in 2050.
It might. This is like the new Y2K. So this is it. So I guess Fox News is going to stay horrible. They're going to keep trying to destroy our democracy one horrible newscast at a time. And there you go. Congratulations, Murdoch family.
I'm really excited for the shareholder proposal next year that asks for them to declassify the board. I'm really excited for that. for it to lose again.
That's the first story. The next story, let's just stay in media. The Larry. Okay, it was a weird week in so many ways, other than this stupid, people wanting to kill each other. Larry. So I don't know if you know this, but Oracle, I guess, reported massive revenues or something, and they're
Yep.
because everything's a meme stock now. One thing you'll notice, the entire country seems depressed, both the left and the right, but the stock market is doing great. Like
That's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
it's soaring. So Oracle reported something. Suddenly, Larry Ellison's net worth skyrocketed. All the headlines were like, "Larry Ellison passes Elon Musk and the richest man in the world." First of all, I can't believe we report on this. I find it
Yeah,
to be
that's our favorite
sordid.
thing. Who's the richest?
Yeah, I find it to be distasteful and gross. But the headline was Larry Ellison's $100 billion day reminds us why David Ellison could buy Paramount. So here's what's also happening. David Ellison, who is the new owner of Paramount Skydance, is preparing to make a bid for Warner Brothers Discovery. So his son is, because his dad is super rich, is now in the position to basically own every media company except for Fox, I guess, right? I guess he could buy Fox.
No,
but,
so Disney would have ABC, the legacy.
well, maybe he could buy that too. I don't know, right?
They'd happily probably sell that off.
I mean,
yeah.
that's already controlled by a family, the Disney family, right? I mean,
they
it's
don't
all
control it anymore. No.
well,
they
yeah,
don't.
okay, but yeah, that's
it's
true.
just their
That's true.
name.
They
on
don't.
the
They don't have
company.
ownership. You're
They don't
right.
have
You're right.
ownership.
It's not like the Walton. It's not like the Walmart.
No.
The Walmart.
Well, this is a little scary in as much as like conservatives in this country have been talking about how the left-wing media and radical left has been basically controlling everything.
Yeah, well,
You know now-
Mother Jones magazine, they control everything, right?
You know now. So Fox News is the most watched channel in this country. That
Is that
Larry
right?
Ellison's son has already transformed CBS. They already brought in this
Made a
woman
deal with
who's
Trump.
basically leans conservative. They're basically pushing it to be a conservative media empire between Paramount and Skydance. And that leaves Disney. And we think Disney is a paragon of liberal virtue. Like Disney's.
Yeah, even MSNBC is like disavowed its left leanings, and they're
So
changing
there's-
their name, they're rebranding.
So there's not a thing, right? Like,
Well,
so
to me, there's not even a political
what
thing.
media are we angry about?
Honestly, if the Murdoch family, the Ellison family, if they were left wing, I still would be against this. This is just
Yeah,
not
it's
the
not
way
good.
it's meant to
It's
be.
not-
Like
it's not
it's not
good.
how media should be controlled. So it's just disturbing to me, especially when you have it's just kids who didn't even earn their right to control media. I mean, this is the proposed bid is to buy all of Warner's Brothers Discovery. That's a lot of media property. He's going to buy the entire company with cash. I mean, it's,
like his cash. Yeah,
right,
sure.
but I'm just saying, I just find it to be it's outrageous, and I can't believe we look the other way on this. I mean, one of the things that has disturbed me over the past few days is the American love of violence. I know we're all pretending that we were upset about this, but I mean, we love violence in this country.
we do. We like it.
On CNN, which would be one of the companies that Ellison would buy, right? I think it's a Warner
Yep,
Brothers
that's
property.
CNN, yeah.
The headline talked about how they discovered some rifle and they detailed everything about the rifle. Like
The
I don't
rifle,
even-
yeah.
I'm not a gun person, but they detailed like the size of the rifle and all. And I was just like, why can't you just say rifle? Like how bloodthirsty are we in this country
do
that
we
I have
need
to
to
know
know
all
the-
these details?
Do
Like
we need to know the rifle at all?
Right.
Like, all right.
well, I
but-
don't know. I don't
but
even
look-
know. But anyway, so now we have nepo babies who are right-leaning, controlling the media. So, again, I didn't want to talk about the guy who was assassinated, but it is really most of the people I know, most of the people in my boring little state and city of Portland, Maine. Life goes on. I don't even know that most of us really know who this person is or was who was killed. The media does a great job of just pumping out story after story about this and highlighting every angle of the death. And I didn't even see the video, but I heard that there's a really atrociously violent video where he gets killed. And Anyway,
See,
so
you didn't want to talk about it, and it
okay, but
keeps
no, I'm
coming
only
back.
talking about it in the context of look who owns our media. Like,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
right?
mean,
It's not a
David
non-for-profit
Ellison.
consortium. I mean, it's
David Ellison is a very mature 42-year-old who, I'm sure, is not going to use divisiveness and violence to sell advertising on
oh,
media, right? Like that wouldn't happen. Not like the mature Mark Zuckerberg who owns, all of the internet media and it doesn't want divisive, engagement. So, look, I don't know what your problem is here. There's just going to be four. So now we have four billionaire white guys who run all of AI and
oh,
technology, and we'll have
yeah. Well,
four nepo baby white guys who run all of media
yeah.
and like legacy media plus, like some dabbling of tech media. What are we left with? So there's like 8 white guys who
Yeah.
run everything we see, hear, touch. What we're left with is put your fucking phone down and go outside. Guess where you can't
Well,
see
that actually
divisive
right.
media?
That's true. I took a drive with my my lady friend yesterday because we were feeling a little bit anxious, and we drove around, looked at the ocean, and yeah, outside is actually kind of
It's
nice and
really
calm.
nice outside. It's
Yeah.
like really nice for the moment
For the
because we
moment.
haven't destroyed that yet.
That's true. That's true. My last story actually might touch on that. I talk about Vanguard and voting, but let me get to the third story of the week first. So the second one is another nepo baby buying all of media after his daddy gets super rich. The third story of the week. Meanwhile, I just wanted to mention this because we love to talk about Jamie Dimon, and this was sort of the big story of the week. And I don't think the story is going to go away necessarily. I mean, there was already conspiracy theories about tying this together. But anyway, I just wanted to capture this because it just still feels sort of important to me, at least. Senators call for hearings about J.P. Morgan's ties to Jeffrey Epstein. So they want CEO Jamie Dimon to testify about keeping Epstein as a client until 2013, and also this week, the Epstein like birthday book was released, and Trump has some horrible stupid birthday
I think
letter to.
stupid is the right
But
word.
I'm just
Not
telling you,
horrible.
the
Just
reason why
stupid.
I picked this is because it all kind of ties together, right? Because to your point, there's like 10 white dudes who kind of seem to control a lot, and it all kind of trickles back towards Donald Trump and a lot of him and his buddies. And remember,
Look, if
last week one of the stories was this big lunch or whatever he had with all the tech CEOs, all the tech bros. Like that was
yeah,
the
yeah.
right kissing his butt and making up numbers.
Yeah,
And,
in which a third of the room were college dropouts, which is
yeah,
like
yeah,
twice as much as the number of women in the room.
yeah.
But that's the point, right? Like I actually think the thing that ties all these stories together
This is the
not
meritocracy, right?
the meritocracy is Donald Trump inherited his dad's money and
Yeah, well,
built
that's
a
true
career
too.
on it.
That's true too.
Lachlan Murdoch inherits his dad's
Yes.
empire, makes all his money on it. Daniel Ellison uses
Some
dad's
of them,
money to buy himself.
some of them might have gone to college. Some of them maybe didn't.
Like most of them didn't go to college. Like Elon Musk used his dad's money to start his first company and then sold that and then used that money and subsidies from the US government to build SpaceX. He bought Tesla, he didn't build it, right? Like this is basically rich white guys, rich white kids using their parents' money to give themselves absolute control.
Well,
over
this
the
is
universe.
why the sinister genius of controlling their voters through this divisive hate and this culture war is really it's a boon for them because I don't know how. There were reports that the Trump family has already, and I have a story I want to cover before I move on to my last story of the week. That the Trump family's already made like $3 to $6 billion so far. This
On
administration.
crypto and whatever, yeah.
Well, just a bunch of nonsense that doesn't benefit humanity at all. It's just I sit back and I marvel that his supporters still support him with all this graft going on. But all right, I'll
Well,
let you
to
talk. But I
segue
want
into
to cover
the-
one more thing. Yeah.
Just segue into the next thing. I mean,
Yeah.
like you were talking about voters, right? Like,
Well, wait, hold on.
There's
Wait,
another set of voters that
Yeah,
need
wait.
to weigh in.
wait on the voters. I found this little nugget in my trolling of SEC stuff and director stuff. Eric Trump. So Eric Trump was elected. He was appointed to the board of Alt 5, which is another one of these stupid crypto things, right?
It's a
And
crypto bank for the Trump crypto.
which, at first I was like, with all the Hunter Biden stuff, I was just amazed. Like his kids are getting appointed to boards like during his what the hell is going on? No one cares. But then
Yeah,
I
they don't
saw
have
that.
laptops.
But
That's
then I
why.
saw this. He was removed from the board. This is a filing I just saw. After discussions with the Nasdaq stock market, Eric Trump was removed from the Alt 5 board, and this is a segue to the next story. Uh, this was based in order to comply with Nasdaq's listing rules. That was kind of the vague,
Shows up,
but
yeah.
won't vote, which is
Unbelievable.
stupid to me. But here's the even stupider part. Nasdaq, I hate you. It's unclear which of Nasdaq rules caused Eric Trump to be removed. They're not even telling us why. This is the part of the alternative democracy and all the stuff that makes me insane. Is like you're removing this guy as a director, whether that's good or bad, I don't know. Tell us why. Like
I
tell
don't.
shareholders
That's not the part,
why. I hate that. I hate
I
it.
don't like it. I don't like that. I'm not saying I do.
Tell
But that's not the
us
part that bothers
why.
me.
Yeah,
The
what
part
bothers
that
you?
bothers me is you will remove Eric Trump as a director,
Let
and
him
you will
sit there.
say he does not have voting power. He's allowed to be a board
How?
observer.
How
So
is he
he
allowed to do
sits in
that?
the back of the room
Yeah.
and says, "Dad's not going to like that.
Oh, of course.
I don't get to vote, but Dad's not going to like that." And
Yeah.
you think every director in the Trump, World Liberty Trump crypto bank company is going to be like, we're going to vote down what Eric says about his dad? There's no fucking
Yeah,
way.
and Nasdaq, fill us in. Why
It's a
is he
control
saying
company.
Nasdaq? This is what you do. You get rich off of this Nasdaq. First of all, tell us why. Second of all, tell us why he gets to stay. Like, tell us things. Tell us anything. Like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, that segues into the last story of the week. Vanguard. This is where I get nerdy again. Vanguard tries to get investors interested in proxy voting. For those of you who don't know, Vanguard is one of the three large. It's Vanguard, State Street, and BlackRock. Are they the three
yeah,
biggest?
Those are the three big ones. Yeah. Wait, just
Yeah.
to
Go
say
ahead.
at the end of that,
Go ahead.
the Alt 5.
Alt
There are no
5.
women on that board either.
Well, yeah, we already
not
covered
a
that, of
woman in
course.
sight.
No,
yeah.
no.
I just
Well,
want to
that-
be sure.
Well, this is the meritocracy, right? Like we want the sons of
The
rich
sons
people
of
or presidents or
presidents and
CEOs.
rich people to sit
That's
there,
what the
yeah.
meritocracy really represents. So Vanguard's trying to. I don't know why this story popped this week. I think there was I think there was some research revealed about this. Vanguard's trying to get millions of its fund investors involved in big corporate decisions by giving them choice in voting. But so far, they said that most people are just tuning out. They're calling this rational apathy, where most investors skip shareholder votes because it feels like a hassle with little impact on their own wallets. And I got to say, the companies do a great job making it feel like a hassle because the proxy statements are, even for us, are often pretty hard to kind of understand and figure out. They said that they also said that individuals often skip votes or side with management, letting company leaders keep their grip on their companies.
So now we've
Yeah.
told managers. So the Vanguard. The reason why this is in the news is Vanguard just released some data about it. They said there's 82,000 investors who are participating in investor choice,
which is a very small percentage.
very
of their
small
holdings,
number
right?
of
Yeah.
investors. It's double than 2024 and tiny, right? Like they're actually part of what their problem is. They can't reach the investors to even get them to make a choice about their own voter choice.
So
right?
this is
Like,
to your point, 82,000 people out of the company's 50 million investors. That's nothing.
Yeah, this is nothing. This is
Yeah.
nothing burger. Of those 82,000, the data that they released is 46% of them, or just under 46% of them, have chosen either company aligned policy or Egan Jones wealth focused policy, which is just
like
company
company
management
aligned
policy.
Yeah.
So literally, everyone's just choosing what sounds like do what management says. The signaling here, if you are management, is because Vanguard is going to publish this, and you know exactly how much Vanguard owns of your company. you know exactly what to expect in every single like you could just let every shareholder proposal go to vote and know you're going to win them all. You wouldn't even have to do a rebuttal. Why even bother? Just be like, we say vote no. You know that the policies, BlackRock, State Street are doing the same exact thing. You know what the policies are and the policy choices of the investors are. It just means literally you don't even have to show up to your own elections. You're guaranteed to get voted in. It actually turns out to be nuts because you've not Vanguard hasn't educated anyone into what voting means. They've given them choice without education. So all they do is empower management to get control. It's effectively a private companies now. Every public company with voter choice will become private because Vanguard, BlackRock, and State Street own so much of the vote that you're giving management 20% of every vote.
And here's what else is going on to ensure that. This is from Wednesday. Found this on the SEC website. Financial Services Committee, this is from the House. That's the House's Financial Services Committee, examines the shareholder proposal process and proxy advisory firms. So here's a quote from Chairman French Hill of this committee.
Man.
He's talking about the Sarbanes-Oxley and Dodd-Frank. He says together these two laws have driven up costs. This is like the misinformation that's being spouted about this.
It costs them
but this is important because this is what they're doing. They're throwing out unresearched, unverified evidence to support that we should shut down the shareholder democracy, essentially. But this is what he said. Together, these two laws have driven up costs, increased the length and complexity of proxy statements, expanded the disclosure and oversight process, and fundamentally changed much of the shareholder access to the proxy system. And let me just tell you who French Hill is, just in case you're curious. He was the chair and CEO and founder of Delta Trust and Banking Corporation, so he comes from that world. He's also a direct descendant of a slave plantation owner, Creed Taylor. But that's another. But that's beside the point. That's beside the point. Okay, so. Andy Barr, he's a Kentucky representative. He had this to say.
That guy's a mo.
About shareholder proposals. He said, allowing a small group of left-wing activists to hijack the proxy proposal process to push social, environmental, DEI, or political objectives totally unrelated to the core business of a company does not advance the cause of capitalism. It undermines capitalism. It corrupts capitalism because it results in the misallocation of resources of the company. It undermines the profitability of the company. It hurts the shareholders. Again, there is absolutely no proof of this. That in itself is a highly politicized, politically charged
Wow, that's
statement.
Not surprising. Andy, come on the show. We'll talk about it.
But I'm
Andy,
just saying.
Come on the show.
I'm just saying, like. It'd be one thing if they backed that up with proof that it's undermining capital. To me, it seems like a healthy part of capitalism to have shareholders be involved in the annual right of the proxy process, voting on directors, voting on pay. But he's just saying it corrupts capitalism. End of statement. Right. So anyway, that's also what's going on to support Vanguard, basically. Part of this rational apathy of shareholders. Yeah, go ahead.
Did anyone mention to Andy that 40% of the shareholder proposals last year were from anti-woke, anti-DEI?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Look, I said this when the SEC guidance came out, and I love being right, but I wish somebody actually listened to the show and knew that we were right. We said right out of the gate that the new SEC guidance was going to chill shareholder engagement and shareholder proposals. We knew that the Trump administration was going to do this anyway. But we said the antidote to this is the only thing they can't take away. You can vote against directors. If you had data on directors, you can vote on the data because you can't talk to them anymore. You're going to be accused of subverting shareholder democracy and raising costs if you look at a proposal, submit a proposal. Everybody needs to move off of the idea that shareholder proposals matter at all anyway. We are talking about proposals that lose 99% of the time. They're 80% to 20%. We call it victories, right? Like It's nuts that we spend so much fucking talking time on shareholder proposals. And I get the market signal you want to send. Send it by voting against directors. Vote against people. The people make all the decisions. They make all the money. They have all the incentives. The shareholder proposals have accomplished like much less than we want to give them credit for. It's the people that you're talking to year after year. Those are the ones that matter. Vote them out. And you have to overcome the shareholder proposal conversation. You got to focus on voting for directors. It's the only way, because you're going to get every proposal you put up is you're going to be a left-wing lunatic now. It doesn't make a difference. It doesn't even matter if you're left or right wing.
At a minimum, it's at least an avenue to get involved. It's an avenue to express your discontent, your dissent. It's better than you can't just stay on social media all the time, just coming out with like arguments and witty thoughts and memes. And I mean, it's a direct avenue of dissent. Like, get involved. Seriously. I mean,
and it's not that
fight
hard
back,
when there's
fight back.
Like our sponsor, Freeflow Analytics, has a free database of directors on the website.
Yeah.
It's free. It's not as hard as you think it is.
That's where I laugh at this so-called burden of the shareholders' position to vote on all this stuff. Freeflow Analytics, we can help you with that in a second. I mean, we can help you vote on all of your equities almost instantly. I mean,
the cost of doing it, like if two guys with like a desire and a database can come up with a full suite of performance metrics and shit to use, you have the time and energy to just pick some threshold, say if someone underperforms on X, Y, and Z, we're voting against them. We've been told it's too aggressive to vote against them. Well, is it more aggressive to vote against a director, or is it more aggressive to literally wait for every shareholder right to be taken from you by regulators and politicians who don't want you to express a shareholder opinion?
Look, it's part of the reason why we continue to persist creating these insipid shows is because also if you just keep in the conversation, keep talking about the companies, talk about the directors, talk about the CEOs, you will see that maybe the process can even be interesting to you. Maybe just getting involved with the companies that you own and voting on it. It doesn't have to be so cold and heartless and capitalist the way they explain it. There's actually the stories. There's interesting threads to find. I mean, it's not just this monolith to be afraid of. You know what I mean? Like, this is why we try to treat this like sports radio. Like, these are real people. These are real stories. Get involved.
I'm going to vote right now. I'm going to vote right now. Like, because you're the.
Sum it up for people, because we talked a lot in a lot of different directions.
So you've got Lachlan Murdoch takes over. You've got David Nepo Baby #2 buys Paramount.
And Daddy had a big week.
Buys Warner Brothers. Yeah, and Daddy had a big week, so Nepo Baby can buy stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what it is? It's like literally like Daddy came home with a new client or a big check. Let's buy our 16-year-old a new Corvette. Like. Except it's the second largest media company in the world.
Yeah, because what's important here is that when they're calling it like he has a cushion. The vast wealth gives him a cushion to make horrible decisions for decades, right?
I mean, like the cushion you're talking about. Like, so right now, Warner Brothers Discovery is trading at $47 billion market cap, right? And that's up like 15% from yesterday before this was announced.
Because he's talking about buying it?
Because he's talking about buying it. So like, let's say it was like 50 billion. That's half of that, of his new net worth from the Oracle jump. And even if it was 99 billion out of the 100, you could live on $1 billion forever. You don't need another dollar for the rest of your life.
All right,
and
you're sidetracked again.
I got a cushion. So there's Lachlan Nepo, there's David Ellison Nepo, there's JP Morgan, Epstein, plus Trump Alt 5 board and Trump nonsense. It's basically just Trump
and Vanguard.
fest.
And Vanguard.
And then Vanguard. I'm voting for Vanguard because, look, this is a little bit of like a foreshadowing of what's going to be on Proxy Countdown in the next 2 weeks, where 2 weeks from now, we're going to look at the upcoming proxy season in the U.S. this is going to be the talking point of the proxy season, like these voter choice, the focus on cracking down on the Texas law that stops like ISS and Glass Lewis from giving any sort of advice against management. That like this is a real problem because if you're an investor, a pension fund, you're terrified to do anything anymore, except you can cast a vote and you can have data to cast that vote. Very simple data, right? Like justifiable data, not like we
And just
solicited an opinion.
how about just knowledge? How about just
And
creating knowledge of yourself? How about just gaining knowledge?
I think the conversation desperately needs to shift around the
'Cause I
alternative
feel like
democracy.
you know everything there is to know by now about the Detroit Lions. So why don't you tune that out a bit and get some knowledge in other areas of your life?
All right, let's go to good Leos.
Sorry, Detroit Lions. Actually, I have two good ones that I actually like.
I have one. It actually relates to Vanguard. The last.
Then you go
thing.
first. You go.
All right.
first.
So, like in the Vanguard data that they published, they found that young investors, like sub 40, ESG voting policy was by far the most popular choice. That's what they found.
Oh, like
By far.
what? Can you quantify by far?
So the younger investors, 44 and younger, were twice as likely to choose it than older investors. So 42% of them chose Glass Lewis ESG policy, where 17% of 45 and older investors chose Glass Lewis ESG policy. The weird cutoff, like 45.
Yeah.
Is that what? Yeah, I don't know why that.
Congratulations, CEOs. This is probably your fault. All of your personal wealth generation and horrible policies is probably why young people are turning to ESG voting. And the other thing that goes along with that is this. I didn't cover this story, but there's a new Gallup poll saying that U.S. support for capitalism sinks to new low. Mostly because young people are starting to wonder if maybe socialism is a better idea. But again, I'm just bringing that up for this reason, because I also blame all of you CEOs, all the Ellisons and Musks, because you're all the hoarding of all this like inhuman hoarding of wealth is I know for a fact is turning off younger generations. Maybe it's not turning off your fellow boomers and whoever else who play golf with you, but it is starting to have an effect. Like I think people are starting to the more articles and headlines we have about CEO pay ratios and all these things, it's slowly kind of making a difference. So I'm not surprised that young people would want an ESG voting policy over the Egan Jones. What is it? The Egan Jones management
wealth.
Give me a break.
Policy.
They don't need any more focus on wealth and management. Believe me.
Well, I think young people recognize that they have to live in the world after all the old people are dead.
Exactly.
And they don't want to live in a world that has no trees.
And they want
permanent
to be able to
droughts.
afford their rent.
If six people have all the money and you don't have any,
once in a while. Yeah.
Like it's not great. So I like that headline.
My two good leads. My first one's kind of silly, but I still like it. Boone Electric Co-op members can cast drive-through votes for directors.
Wait, like a donut? Like getting a donut?
I guess. I mean, this is what Vanguard should do, right? Like, why can't we vote for directors like right at the Dunkin' window? Like, right?
I love this. What a great idea.
The second one is actually good. This is weird. Like, I can't find the angle that you would be cynical about this one. First of all, I will say that the governor of New Mexico is a woman, Michelle Grisham. So I guess this is what happens when women are in charge of things. We don't know in the corporate world because we just don't have any evidence of it.
It doesn't happen. Yeah.
New Mexico will be the first state to make childcare free.
Wow, like $0.
Free. Saving families up to $12,000 per year, $12,000 per child annually. That's incredible. I mean, that really. I'm just. What more is there to say about this? I don't really know. I mean,
what does New Mexico produce that they can afford to do this?
Maybe
like,
they
don't
produce
they make
less
cacti?
Wealth hoarding CEOs. I don't know. I mean,
I don't understand like why everyone else can't pay for this.
Yeah,
like that. It doesn't make any sense to me.
I tell this story all the time as a way of like demonstrating how incredibly let's just say kind the leadership was when in Quebec when I lived there. But one of the things that they were angry about when I was living in Quebec in Canada was that they were threatening to raise the price of daycare to $5 per day, and people were angry about it. And I was like, wow, what a great culture! Like, what a great civilization! Like that. You know what I mean? Like, this is amazing. Like,
I think this has got to win. I do like that that this is regardless of income. So not even rich people can complain.
I'm a little, yeah, like that's true, right? Like, at first I was like kind of bothered by this. I was like, let them pay their share. But then I'm thinking this is the way to fight the anti-DEI trolls, right? You say,
right?
hey,
like
it's open to everyone.
It's open to everyone, man.
This is not just against rich people.
Like,
right.
It's not like it's like everyone's got the option.
She's one step ahead of me. She knows what she's doing.
I think this is fabulous. That's my winner. I assume that's your winner because you.
I mean, look, if she wasn't there, this drive-through votes for directors would have easily been my winner. But
that's a not real good thing. That's a fun thing.
This week of all weeks, I gotta take the victories where they are. So
yeah,
I love
you,
New
right,
Mexico.
Speaking of victories where they are, let's make it hard on ourselves. All right, for assholes this week. I wanted to do something different because it was just so hard to choose. I did an asshole speed round.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. So I'm going to throw out, there's 8 options here. They're fast options. I'll give you like a headline, a person or a thing that's an asshole, like a sentence or two about it. And then you're going to rate it on an asshole meter from 0 to 10, 10 being the most asshole.
I'm just going to do this right at the top of my head. Okay, sure.
And you're right off the top of your head. And the outcome of this, whatever ones get the 10s,
binding?
It's binding. This is
unlike Say on Pay, it's a binding vote.
This is a binding vote. And the outcome of this will be determining who the assholes of the week are, because I'm sure that there'll be multiple
Could be some
ones,
ties.
Okay?
So we're what are we at? 0 to 10?
0 to 10.
10 being a big asshole, yeah.
All right, let's get in the mood here. Okay, first, Paul Atkins.
Who's that?
SEC chief Paul Atkins.
Yes.
SEC. Here's a headline: SEC chief threatens ban on European accounting rules over sustainability. So the U.S. is thinking of banning IFRS entirely, because they don't like the data that other countries want from their companies. The U.S. is so insecure.
Yeah, this gels with one of our predictions earlier this year that we're just going to slowly get rid of data, right? Basically all proxy data.
I just like the fact that, like, the U.S. has feet and miles and pounds, and, like, we made up all our own ways to measure things that no one else in the world uses. Why not just have our own way to measure companies? We'll just measure everything in a make-believe U.S. language. Paul Atkins.
The first one's always hard because you're setting a.
You don't know what's coming up.
Yeah. So this is bad, but it doesn't break my heart. It's a 6.
6. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. How about this? Sam Altman.
Oof.
Here's the headline. I haven't had a good night of sleep since ChatGPT launched. Sam Altman admits the weight of AI keeps him up at night. Sam, shut the fuck up. Turn it off.
He also said this week that people are starting to talk like AI. I didn't like that.
Yeah, he said that too.
I didn't like that. Too. Look, I mean, am I doing my thoughts of Sam Altman or just that quote?
I mean, you're doing, is he an asshole of the week? 0 to 10.
Just based on that quote? I mean, this is all like, this is like founder tech mode, bro mode, like billionaire talk. Like, I've been hearing this all, like, unfortunately for the last 20 years. So, it's a 7. I mean, 7? I don't.
Okay. We're getting a little more assholey. How about journalists who don't understand dual class shares?
Well, this is important to me. This is
why I'm getting right at you. Notice I put this
Tell me what
number
you're
3.
Talking about.
Here's the headline. I'm just going to give you the headline. You don't need any other context here. Oracle CEO, one of the world's richest self-made women, just got $412 million richer in 6 hours.
Okay,
Oracle CEO is Safra Catz.
Tell me the dual class part of this.
Larry Ellison is the founder and dual class owner of Oracle. Safra Catz is his hand-picked person to run it.
Yeah.
Right? So, journalists, calling her one of the world's richest self-made women is almost demeaning because there's a guy who literally just made $100 billion in a day standing over her shoulder telling her what to do.
I hate that she's one of our few female CEOs. I hate that it's Safra Katz over
Well,
there at Oracle.
that's the thing. They only
Yeah.
come in to deal like the post-bro,
Yeah.
cleanup parties.
Well, here's the part of the Larry Ellison story that I didn't actually get to. This is from Barron's, and hats off to Barron's for actually having like the insight to cover it from this angle. The headline is a key to Larry Ellison's wealth creation: years of Oracle stock buybacks. So. They went out to outline this, how aggressively Oracle bought back its own shares, that Larry Ellison's ownership percentage rose from about 23% to around 41% merely just by buying back stock, and that his net wealth and his wealth generated from this doubled just by buying back stock. So the way these guys are able to manipulate their own wealth, the stock market, everything is just really quite incredible. But hats off to Barron's, the only one who had like the courage to talk about something other than like, hey, look how rich he is now. Like,
give me a number on this. Give me a number on this.
I don't know, like that's a 5.
A 5? Oh, I'm
Yeah.
surprised. All
Yeah,
right.
I mean,
How about
asshole is a
Charlie
very
Sharp?
asshole is a very strong word to me. I mean, you know.
Oh, jeez, Louise, you
Yeah.
snowflake. How about Charlie Sharp?
Ugh.
Here's the headline. Wells Fargo CEO, not named obviously, but it is Charlie Sharp, says Trump is entitled to be vocal about the Fed.
I don't like this one.
Sharp is also on the board of Microsoft
Oh,
and
I don't-
presided over the enigma of success that was
Yeah.
firing most of their employees while making more money than
Hey,
they've ever made.
This is a 9 because honestly,
Wow.
honestly, and I want it to be a 10, but I'm just waiting to see if I get really angry at someone.
don't think you're
but
gonna get more angry.
my instinct was a 10 because here's why.
I'm going to give it a 10 then.
Here's why. Corporations, CEOs, you're suddenly super quiet on DEI. You're getting rid of DEI because you're afraid of Trump and you're afraid of politics and all this stuff. Then why do you also then get to kiss his ass?
Weigh in on the other side.
You shouldn't be weighing on anything. Like if
Yeah,
you're going to
just shut your
turn,
mouth.
if you're turning your back on people of color and women in this country, then you should be shutting your mouth when it comes to supporting the fat orange
Donald Trump's
Trump.
fat mouth
Yeah.
about the Fed
So
chairs.
Matt changed it to a 10, which I'm okay with. But go ahead. What else do you have?
All right, how about Jamie Dimon?
Yeah, I love Jamie.
Jamie Dimon says, actually the headline, Jamie
Yeah.
Dimon says economy is weakening, but
Oh,
he
great.
can't make sense of all the different data. Then, quote, maybe one day AI will fix the problem.
Yeah, yeah. He also had one that's like, Jamie Dimon says the economy is weakening, but it might become a recession, but I don't really know right now. We'll have to, it's just like, oh, great. Thanks, Jamie.
Why are we listening to you?
Let's
How
hear about your ties to Jeffrey Epstein. That might be more
yeah,
interesting.
well, that's the second part
Yeah.
of this, right? This is the week that J.P. Morgan's like the Jeffrey Epstein stuff came out, where they processed over $1 billion in Epstein business, despite the fact that they knew he was a sex offender, right? Like they knew it, and
How
they
about
still
the Senate?
did the business.
Yeah, voting 51 to 49 to not disclose the Epstein files. A good congratulations, Senate. That's
Yeah, good work.
Yeah.
So Jamie Dimon, give me a number.
I thought that was the one thing that we all as Americans agreed upon, is that we hated
Jeffrey
abuse
Epstein.
against children, like especially like sexual abuse, pedophilia, all that stuff.
No,
that's the
we
one
hate
thing that we seem to
liberal
always
abuse.
But that's what we
Liberal
always
abuse
we
against
rallied behind that as a people. Like we always hated those types, but now I guess we don't.
just
So Jamie
liberal
Dimon, I don't know. I mean, I think the Charles Sharp thing is in some ways more damaging. So I'm gonna call this like an 8. I mean,
8.
yeah.
Got it. All right. How about this reverse justification of Zuck's?
Oh,
feckless
Zuck's
suck-ups?
automatically a 10. I don't even care. Just put 10
here's the
down.
headline.
Yeah.
Meta CFO
Yeah.
explains CEO Mark Zuckerberg's $600 billion pledge to the White House.
Yeah, I know. It's a 10 in every direction.
Imagine being the CEO. I actually feel bad because
Yeah.
you got to go into a press conference. You got to issue statements. You got to say all sorts of shit at conferences, whatever. And someone's like, "What's Mark Zuckerberg's plan for that $600 billion?" He said to Trump, and you have to be like, oh, well, this was the plan. Meanwhile, it's on a hot mic that Zuckerberg had no idea the question was coming, was not prepared, and made up a number to make it sound really good for Trump. Said to Trump, I'm not sure what number you wanted me to go with there, right? Like, said that to Trump.
Here's what I didn't capture this week that we could have talked about. First of all, the FTC is they're looking into a lot of social media and big tech because of the way it's basically destroying our children, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
but then also former I think he was the CEO, Jeffrey Katzenberg, wasn't he involved with Disney?
Yeah, Disney. Yeah, back
he
in the
was
day.
talking about how
DreamWorks.
it took 80 years to regulate like the use of seatbelt. So we're never going to get regulation in this area of protecting our children as much as we need it. And then there was another report about how the metaverse and how it targets its ability to target children, like this.
Yeah,
like
we're using the Oculus Rift. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some whistleblower reports about this, and Mark knew about this and is not doing anything about it. I mean,
Nobody cares.
Mark needs to go. That company needs to just disappear, go away, like
Just
not
so
so
you know,
quietly.
though,
Yeah.
The CFO that had to explain
Oh, don't tell me
was
it was a woman.
another woman on
Of
cleanup.
course. Yeah, of
Susan
course.
Lee, the Meta
Of course.
CFO, is Susan Lee, a woman on cleanup.
I also saw that the Snap CEO Evan Spiegel. He's another dual class shares bozo. Maybe a dropout. I don't remember. He
sure, yeah.
says that Snap needs to go into founder mode to save itself.
Oh, yeah,
Because
they all have, yeah,
I think
founder mode.
Evan, I wish you'd call me because I'd say walk away from Snap. Let it go bankrupt. We don't
Go-
need Snap.
Why
Just
don't you go
end
to
it.
founder
Nobody
mode
cares.
by yourself in a
Stuff that's
basement.
doing nothing for humanity. How about you start a company that benefits humanity? How about that?
How about
anyway, I'm getting a little.
Here's another
tirade-y.
option.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's only two more. Bros.
That's a 10.
I mean, here's the headline: The gender pay gap is getting wider, reversing progress.
yeah, it's a 10.
Congrats to Emily Peck from Axios for actually picking up on this. The pay gap is now back where it was in 2017 before the Me Too movement.
Great.
So,
Well, the Me Too movement is essentially been nullified by the current Trump Kirkian anti-DEI, anti-Me Too movement, right? Like we're not even allowed to talk about that anymore, right? I mean, are we?
So
Are we
now-
even allowed to openly support women? I mean,
Well, no,
I might,
that was one of the ban words from the
Right.
grants. And
I mean, I might get arrested for not crying that Kirk's been killed, but if I support women openly, that's definitely a no, right? And thank you to Emily Peck, by the way, Axios. She actually had coverage of our IPO data. She put out that article late last week. So if you want to Google Axios Emily Peck, you'll read all her stuff. We're big fans of Emily Peck. Read it all.
Yeah. So what was
that's
your
a
score?
10.
That was a 10. That was a 10.
Yeah. What else you got?
Last one.
Yeah. So
and
now
this one I don't.
we got ties for assholes now. There's 3 of them that are tied for
That's okay. We can have 3
Okay.
assholes this week.
Yeah.
Everything Charlie Kirk, and this is
That's
where
a-
I'm going to
that's a
talk about
10.
Charlie
That's
Kirk.
a 10.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm going to talk
I
about
don't want to
Charlie
talk
Kirk.
about it, but go
I'm
ahead.
not going to talk about Charlie Kirk. I think there are
10.
I think there are 2 things happening simultaneously that are
Yeah.
probable root causes for political assassinations, for political violence.
Well, this is not new. First of all, political.
None of it
violence,
is
but
new.
Go ahead. Let's not
But-
pretend it's new.
But I don't care about Charlie Kirk at all, right? Like I thought he was a blowhard and whatever. And
Blowhard
I
is
do-
putting it lightly. I for any of you who don't know anything about this guy, if you want to ruin the next 5 minutes of your life, go read about everything.
No, it's
he
fine.
said.
He is what he did what he did. He
Sorry
is
to
who
get
he is,
political.
whatever.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
All I know is that there are 2 things that do exist in our world, in sort of the corporate world, that are major contributor factors to political violence. To somebody had to feel a way to get on a roof and shoot a guy, right? Like,
Yeah.
and it's not the first, and it's not going to be the last. Number
I
one
wish it would be the last. Yeah,
is hopelessness.
that's a
like-
big one.
Which, look, Elon Musk is currently proposing to pay himself 68% of all the wealth of the bottom 50% of U.S. households.
I mean,
the
this
bottom
is just,
half
Yeah.
of all U.S. households. And I'm talking every single
Yeah.
household in the country.
Yeah.
Elon Musk wants 68% of their money.
You know
in pay.
who's already supported this is Morgan Stanley. They're already giving a big thumbs up.
That's because everybody sees like, oh, well, if he gets to 8.5 trillion for a
It's
market
good for
cap, then it's
shareholders.
great for shareholders, right?
Yeah.
Like, but like, and we'll cover this in the proxy countdown. It actually isn't good for shareholders, and
I don't
it's
even care. I don't
really,
care. I
really
don't care if
bad
it's good
for
for shareholders.
humanity.
Yes, thank
because
you.
if his
Thank
pay
you.
packages, if his pay passes, he will have as much worth as 1/4 of everyone under the age of 40. Every single
This is
person.
just-
That's
this is
that's
sick. Yeah, it's
166 million people that Elon Musk will have as much money as all of them put
Well,
together.
well,
Imagine
again,
that pay ratio.
this is why-
166 million to 1.
But this is why I suspect there are Gallup polls saying that people are turning against capitalism a bit, and why like young voters might go with the ESG policies at Vanguard. I suspect
But
it's because of people like
That's
Elon
right.
Musk.
But if you like, we're convinced that because he bought a car company and borrowed money from the US to build rockets, that he's a singular genius. And
Right.
you've combined that fact, like the incredible disparity in wealth. You look at these CEO pay ratios, they're absurd. Combine that with the fact that there are 4 billionaire white men who basically control everything we see, everything we read, everything we see. And everything we see tells us every day that your life sucks, and the reason is the other side. The reason is
Yeah.
some other
Yeah.
guy.
Doom scrolling, they call it.
It's just like the reason why you're not getting over is you're not a man. The reason why you're not getting over is you're not a Democrat. The reason why
works on
you're
both
getting
sides,
over
right?
is
It's
Jews are
exactly-
taking it from you. Whatever the thing is, the algorithm finds the thing and targets you and says, "There's your other," right?
Yeah.
And you hear that every single day. And capitalism is, the support for it is on the decline. People feel like there's literally no other option but to shoot someone anymore to
Well, you
get
know,
heard. None.
This is a really weird tangent, but I just feel like sharing this. When I was looking at the press release from the House on the Financial Services Committee examining shareholder proposal process, the one thing I noticed is like there are two options to share the article, one on Facebook and one on X, Elon Musk's X Twitter. That's it. And I just thought to myself, like, even that to me is weird. Like those are the only two options to share this article is through these two empires controlled by these two billionaires. Like,
I mean,
our world
like,
has gotten nutty. Like they control communications. Like it's weird.
we feel, and like, look, we do the news every single day, and this is the part where we can get personal.
This is why we're so depressed.
Like, there is a deep hopeless feeling we have. Like, we have spent our time building a database of how people perform, effectively trying to understand merit, real merit, like measuring the performance outcomes of individuals who we elect to run these companies that are everything we see, touch, and smell and eat, everything we do in life effectively is touched by these individuals. And we are told over and over again that those people don't matter. It's aggressive to vote against them. It's aggressive to have a voice against them. You are left with the sensation when you read all this stuff and you know that every director on the Tesla board is going to get reelected. Every director on like Meta is going to get elected. You feel hopeless. Like,
Yeah. Well, and you're right. That is sort of a key part of what keeps people apathetic. I mean, they talk about voter apathy and I remember
never be apathetic.
I remember
that.
hearing an argument about why we can't get more consumers and investors to care about who runs their corporations and their policies. They were talking about like Target, like why we can't get more people because they're overwhelmed by it all, right? Like they and so instead of getting involved, they'd just rather buy something or watch or consume more media because they're just. You're right. There's a hopeless. There's just an overwhelmed kind of feeling. They know they should be fighting back. They want to fight back. They want to do things that aligns with their own set of moral or ethical standards, whether you're on the left or the right. But they're just overwhelmed. They're just overwhelmed.
I mean, every time.
That's where apathy comes from, right?
If you as an individual, if you're listening to the show, the two people that listen to the show, every time during the day you have that desire, you have a thought like I should blah, and then what you do is open up YouTube or open up TikTok or Instagram or look down or distract yourself from that feeling. Sit in that feeling instead, because
or send a check. $100,000. You can do Venmo or a check to Free Flow.
The other option, the other reason why, because the first is hopelessness. The other reason why is men.
Why? What? I've lost track of what
Charlie
you're talking
Kirk.
about.
Everything Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. The
right?
other reason why what?
is men.
Men,
Like 99.9% of political violence is committed by men. Out
Well,
of
let's not-
10,000
yeah.
public companies, 93% are led by men.
Let's not forget that the reason why we had prohibition in this country, get rid of alcohol, is because women were sick of essentially getting beat up by men. I mean, you know, all violence basically it leads down the rabbit hole of men. I mean, let's be real.
73% of all country level parliament seats are male, right? Like, despite making up 50% of the population, there isn't a woman anywhere in sight. There isn't any realm of our world that women lead the majority. Nowhere. Now, we can have a conversation about meritocracy or all that kind of stuff and how that's totally fucked up. But the reality is, you know who doesn't shoot people? Women.
Actually,
Women don't engage in chest thumping, gun toting nationalism in the same way that men do.
Yeah, I was
They
gonna say
just don't.
I actually think that I have to do the math on this, but I actually think New England itself, the 6 states of New England, I think they're kind of close to being led by women, the senators, the governors. Anyway, I want to add this other thing to your point. There's a headline I just captured this morning. Speaking of why we advocate for women in leadership and why everyone should, there is this the sense of America. One thing that we feel like we're all missing is bipartisanship. We're sick of everyone fighting. Just this morning is a headline: want signs of bipartisanship in the House. Look to women. So even in the House, women are the ones who are crossing aisles and making deals and having conversations.
I don't want bipartisanship. I don't want like we're talking about ideological freedoms in this country. I want bi-gendership. I want equal representation of humanity.
I want unigendership. I'm ready to give women complete control until 2050. How about we do 2050 for the women?
Look,
how about we let
balance
women
is the
run
thing.
everything until 2050?
When you look at any single company, and this gets back to like how we analyze companies, if you look at any single company, right, you want to analyze how they're going to perform or what they're going to do, whatever, you don't want a company that's way over to, you don't want a company that's like 90% debt, right? You don't want that because that's imbalance, because you know that that's just a ticking time bomb. I don't want imbalance in humans either. I don't want them all to be tech bros. I don't want them all to be economists. I don't want I want them to be fucking like
right.
everything else. Like I want
Let's
some
move on.
balance. So hopelessness and men.
All right, let's move on.
And
And who are the
that's
assholes? And then we can move on.
It's everything. Charlie Kirk was the asshole, and you don't have
That's
to rate
the
this one
asshole?
if you don't want to. Yeah, this.
I gave it a 10. I don't know. I gave it a 10. 10
All
million.
right, so that means we've got our assholes of the week are Charlie Sharp, reverse justifying Zuck's feckless suck ups, bros, and everything Charlie Kirk. That's
Okay, let's
it.
move on.
That's
Yeah. Come on, let's move on. Yeah.
get out of the show. Let's go headlines, winners, predictions. You can be quick on these.
Yeah, we're quick. Ooh, I haven't heard that part of the song before.
The full version.
Yeah.
There is a full version.
Mine you already alluded to, so you stole my fire. My headline is the week: Hot Mike catches Zuckerberg admitting his $600 billion vow to Trump was a guess. As you already said, the quote on Zuck is, "Sorry, I wasn't ready. I wasn't sure what number you wanted to go with."
I love
you,
the
you meaning Trump. You meaning
Yeah,
Trump.
I didn't know what you wanted.
What's your headline?
My headline of the week is Uber sued by DOJ for alleged discrimination against disabled riders.
Really? Our
Yeah.
current DOJ is
That's what I was. Is this super woke? Like,
Yeah,
is this the
you're
wokest
going
thing?
against capitalist America? I don't understand.
I thought that was a great headline. Who's your
All right,
winner
winners.
for the week?
I mean, mine's easy. Every Ellison ever.
Yeah, that's
If your last name is Ellison, you're probably a winner. That's all.
I'm hoping that Larry Ellison. Mine was also Larry Ellison. I'm hoping that
No, mine's every Ellison.
Well, you've got all the Ellisons.
Yeah.
I hope that he finally buys that razor to shave his facial hair. It's really he's not.
So what's
fooling
the winner
anybody.
there?
That I
razor?
think razors are the winner. What's your predictions?
All right, bear with me here. David Ellison buys Lachlan Murdoch's two younger half-sisters. Those are from Rupert's third marriage. They're named Grace and Chloe. And then he immediately trades them for 30% ownership in the Winklevoss twins cryptocurrency exchange company Gemini Space Station.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
No, that's the wrong thing.
Yeah.
That one.
And I think my prediction is definitely coming true. What do you got?
I think your prediction is better. My prediction was not a real prediction. I just think I think we're gonna move on to ideological purges in this country.
All right, don't get dark.
We're on our way, so let's just,
No, come on,
get
we
it
can-
over with.
Is this
Just get it
still-
over with.
Come on, stop.
That's all we got. That's Hazelman Rollins,
Enough.
Andrew Soul, Matt Mascardi. We are free float. We actually have a proxy countdown coming later today. We got a back-to-back.
sucks.
It's a long day for us. So check that out. We'll come back next week with shows. If you didn't catch Shareholder Primacy this week, they talked about Tesla. We're going to drop some clips of that into our proxy countdown today because they were so good. Ann Lipton had some epic points in there. So catch Shareholder Primacy. Otherwise, stay tuned. Until then, goodbye.